Next pitch is 105.
Yeah, so his whiff rate's just at 40%. And usually, we talked about this in New York, when you've got a guy with a forkball that gets the swings and misses, hitters take the fastball, right? Because you think, especially down, well, he's got 6 called strikes on that fastball.
1-2 on Doyle. That's the one you gotta spit on if you can. Easier said than done. 3-2.
Yeah, his season high was 17 3 weeks ago against the Pirates. So he's got it working. We always talk about it, the splitter and the fastball, or the splitter and the forkball, best pitches to throw here at Coors Field.
Mack will be off with the pitch. 3-2 on Doyle. And this one, oh wow, the Rockies catch a break. That is huge, hopefully. Alonso, Alvarez, and also Senga in the neighborhood, and they all said, wait, we can't have a collision.
Yeah, this is in a different Bermuda Triangle that we're not used to seeing. The catcher, pitcher, first baseman. Exit velo just a smidge under 40 miles an hour. Got in on the hands of Brenton a little bit.
Another 3-2. And that had nothing to do with McMahon. That had everything to do with Senga needed.
Yeah, time.
He needed to call a timeout, and that's how pitchers can do it.
Yeah, he was not. The pitch comm wasn't working. You could see him fiddle with his hat up until 8 seconds, and then he got on the rubber and knew he needed to pick over.
Doyle lifts this to deep right field. Soto will make the catch in the corner, and that'll end the inning. So the Rockies get a base hit from McMahon, nothing else across. We'll go to the 7th. Moniak's home run holding up.
Fans, rally your crew. It's time for University Hat Days at Coors Field. Rep your colors and show your school pride for CU, CSU, Nebraska, Air Force Academy, Wyoming, and more. Purchase a special ticket package and receive a limited edition university-themed hat. Visit Rockies.com/themes to purchase.
Here we go, top of the 7th. There's a robust calf. Top of the order for Tyler Kinley. Tyler's been in a good place. Last time we saw him was just 48 hours ago. Got the save as the Rockies swept Miami. The score on Wednesday was 3-2. 1-2-3 ninth inning for TK, his second save of the year. Brandon Nimmo at the plate, 0 for 3. Nimmo's gotten hot over the last 10 ball games. Slash line of 333, 415, 556, almost 1,000 OPS during that time frame. One and one. Kinley unscored upon in the month of June. 3 outings.
Good use of his slower curveball. He likes to save that and use it at good times. Right there in a 1-0 count.
2-1. Saw a group of kids. They were escorted by adults, which was recommended. All down from Wyoming. And there's a ton of season ticket holders from Wyoming. And there were a lot of Nimmo jerseys in the group. Of course, Brandon was a huge Rockies fan growing up in Cheyenne.
I'm guessing that was the yellow jerseys we've seen everywhere. I've seen a ton of them. There's some in right center. There's some down the first base line. I'm guessing Wyoming yellow.
2-2, slowly hit the short. Ritter's first ground ball. And he throws out Brandon Nimmo. So you want to get everything out of the way, right? He's got his first hit. It was a booming triple. He caught a pop-up.
He needs a run.
Gets his first ground ball.
And an RBI. There's only one way to do that in the same thing.
Next inning.
Yep. It will definitely thrill his family and friends right there.
Starling Marte, 1 for 3. Hey, the strategy against this talented Mets team that Warren Schaefer employed, Ryan Rollison, good solid first. Senza dealt with traffic, which, you know, is pretty typical for Senza, but 4 shutout innings.
Yeah, he threw the ball well outside of the walks, obviously. Just the 3 hits, I believe, correct?
Senza gave up 3 hits. He walked 4, which is unlike him. A couple of strikeouts. Jake Bird was phenomenal. There's Ryan Rollison. 0-2 on Marte. This is toward the middle of the diamond. Ritter dives, and the backhanded stop was made by Estrada. So it'll be a base hit for Marte. And that'll bring up Juan Soto.
Well, this is what makes Marte so good. He'll take a couple shots, but then he'll settle in with a 2-strike approach. Right here. Fooled, but trapped off that lower half, and just use those hands. Use the big part of the field. Ritter tried. Freeman fielded it, but no play at first.
Actually, Marte had the Mets' last hit with 1 out in the 3rd.
Forgive me, I meant Estrada. I said Freeman.
That looked like a swing, and it was. 0-1 on Soto. Single walk, fly ball to left for Soto. Ball and a strike on Soto. Told you earlier he's playing in his 999th game. He has over 200 homers and over 800 walks so far. So you may be wondering, and if you're not, I'm going to tell you anyhow, how many guys in their first 1,000 career games have ever had more than 200 homers and more than 800 walks? Well, there's two others, Ted Williams and Frank Thomas. What do they have in common?
I think they are in the Hall of Fame and also have not been in my kitchen.
Exactly. The former being the most important element.
I have been in Frank Thomas's kitchen.
Have you really?
Yeah.
2 and 2.
He was good friends with a former teammate, unfortunately passed, and Joe Kennedy.
Middle of the diamond and on through. So Soto with the base hit. Marte will stop at second as Doyle sprinted to that baseball. So almost identical hits. Now ball's right up the middle. So Marte tying run at second, Soto at first, 1 out, and Alonso coming up.
Yeah, we're used to seeing so much vertical movement from the slider from Tyler. That one kind of hung up a little bit. It did fool him, got him out front, but still able to get through the middle of the field.
Alonso tonight 0 for 2 and a walk. Mets are 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Kenley trying to keep it that way. Swung on a miss, 0-1. Since Pete Alonso arrived in 2019 in the big leagues, no one has driven in more runs than his 641. 0-2.
He's grounded into 9 double plays this season. Even 10 wouldn't hurt.
Here's the 0-2. He goes 97 off the plate. I said it so many times, Sully, that guys breaking stuff is so good, and there's so many pitchers like a Kenley that can throw the ball in the upper 90s, but that's like a secondary pitch.
Yep. Nowadays, you see the off-speed more frequently.
0-2. Line drive, left center field. That's not only going to tie up the game, it's going to give the Mets the lead. Soto around third. He's going to score. And Pete Alonso, who oftentimes this year has been a one-man wrecking crew for the Mets, has just put them in front.
His 56th and 57th RBIs of the season. Also his 20th double of the season. Came on the slider. He was able to get swings and misses on for strike 1 and strike 2, but this one backs up and stays elevated. You'll see about mid-thigh high. Pete going left center. And then it's kind of off to the races. Marte's going to score easy, and Soto working around third.
Victor Vodnik has gotten up. Pete Alonso is exhibit A for why I know in some circles there are hardcore mathematicians within the game of baseball, if you will, that think RBIs are just a byproduct of where you hit in the lineup. There is an art to, there is a ability to drive in runs that some guys have that others do not, regardless of where you hit in the lineup. And Pete Alonso, he drives in runs.
Yeah, I mean, where you hit in the lineup gives you more opportunities to knock in runs. That doesn't mean you're going to. You have to execute, and he's done it now for what, 6 straight seasons virtually?
Yeah, and I'm not going to put this next guy in his category because it's not fair, because Pete Alonso has driven in almost 700 runs in his career already. But Hunter Goodman is built that same way.
Yep.
He drives in runs.
There are guys that just take their nose to the baseball in those situations. Hunter's one of them. Pete's obviously been the best over the last few years.
Again, it's ahead of Aaron Judge. Yep. It's ahead of Ohtani. It's ahead of everybody in the game. And he's behind in the count there.
Yeah. I mean, he fouled off the fastball at 97, got himself a mistake slider. But you have to execute.
McNeil's been on twice, single and a walk. Oh, 2 to McNeil. And that should be an easy play for Ritter. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Tyrone Taylor. Kinley faced Taylor in New York, got him to ground out to third. Well, that's the first run allowed by the Rockies bullpen probably since New York. They were unblemished down in Miami.
Yep.
Bullpen's been the best element overall of the Rockies this year. 0-1 on Taylor. That's with 7 hits now to the Rockies' 5. 3 have come in this inning. That's pulled down the line, foul. And the 1-2 from TK, and that's in the air to shallow left. Coming on is Beck to make the catch. Got a good read on it. In the inning, the Mets take the lead. A double from Pete Alonso scores Marte and Soto.
Live odds are brought to you by Bet365. We are talking about career first for Ryan Ritter. And yes, I am aware that his first career hit was a triple, but guess what? It wasn't a double. So if he leads off this inning with a double, plus 1,600, a homer, plus 2,200, I would like to see the homer because we get first run, first RBI, and first homer. Back to the 5th inning, we get himself a hung slider in the middle of the plate from Senga, and then it's off to the races. Family's cheering him on. He slides in safe to third base. He's pumped up, they're pumped up. Let's see if he can get the Rockies rally started here in the bottom of the 7th.
You know, in his career in the minor leagues, he had produced just under 900 OPS. And when he was originally drafted out of Kentucky, he was thought to be a far better defender than he was an offensive player at that point in time. Again, the Rockies took him in the 4th round out of Kentucky. On the mound, Huáscar Brazoban. Swing on a miss. Brazoban out of a really talented Mets bullpen. 6 innings from Kodai Senga. He allowed the home run to Moniak. One ball and 2 strikes. Mets overall ERA of 2.85, best in baseball. Their starters 2.89, best in baseball. Their bullpen, it's all the same, 2.88, which is the 2nd best in baseball. Brazoban, he's done his part, a 151. And this ball, line foul by Ryan Ritter.
And Brazoban's another one of those guys, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, but his main pitch now is a changeup. Throws it right around 37% of the time.
Put in play to the left side. Beatty just in time. See Ritter get up the line well. So Sam Hilliard now with 1 out is going to pinch hit for Keston Hiura.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but last time he faced Mr. Brazoban about a week ago, he got himself a changeup. He stayed through it very nicely and got himself his first at bat, pinch hit, home run. His teammates loved it. See if they can see part 2.
I saw what you did there. Sam, high fly ball, deep right center field, and it is off the wall. Hilliard's already digging for 3rd. He'll stop there with a triple. And I love what Sam did there in that he never just watched to see if it would go out. And because he didn't watch, he's at 3rd as opposed to 2nd.
It's a changeup again. This one's a little more elevated. He caught it a little high on the barrel. But if he was watching his teammates in the bullpen, which I was, you'll see them. They're all making it look like it's out of the ballpark. Sam didn't pay attention. He kept running hard. You can see head down, finding a way, thinking he might have himself a homer the hard way.
How about Warren Schaefer pushing the right buttons?
Yeah.
Tying run 90 feet away. Mets infield comes in. Here's Moniak. Ball 1 on Mickey. If you're just joining us, Moniak with 1 out in the 3rd inning hit a line drive home run to right.
Well, Sammy got to 3rd, by the way, 12.2 seconds, 29.3 feet per second on that.
When you're making turns,
right,
that's flying.
It is flying, but most importantly, on a ball that you think could be a homer, that tells you you're paying no attention. You don't care about where the ball lands.
2-1.
Now, the Rockies continue to get it done in the pinch hit situation this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, they entered the game 2nd in baseball, hit 327. Sammy does it there.
This is bounce foul. Yeah, the Rockies 2nd in on base percentage as well. 4th in OPS, 2nd in number of hits in the pinch.
Yeah, that was their 17th hit.
2-2.
And by the way, we've talked about how hard pinch hitting used to be. It's infinitely harder now. Not just because you don't do it as much, because the arms that get marched out of the pen nowadays are incredible.
No matter what the inning is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Used to be, oh man, 8th inning, 9th inning could be really tough. Now the guy can come out of the pen in the 5th throwing 100. Line drive, base hit, that boy, Mickey Moniak. He's tied up the game. Moniak going for 2. And he is out at second. But what a clutch single for Moniak. And what a clutch pinch hit triple from Sam Hilliard.
It's a good job pulling his hands in on a 93-mile-an-hour sinker, finding a way to get the ball elevated just enough to get out into the outfield for the knock. Sam scores easy. I like the effort, pushing the extra 90, knowing you got an opportunity to be the winning run. It took an absolutely perfect throw on the bag, and good tag from Mauricio right there.
Tyler Freeman takes inside. Brazoban and Alvarez trying to get on the same page. And we talked about it earlier. We've talked about it now a few times. With Warren Schaefer, he wants the Rockies to be that kind of team.
Yep.
He wants them to be aggressive, go first to third, steal bases, look to take the extra bag. And he's given guys confidence in that. Don't worry if you get thrown out. If it's a good baseball play, I'm not going to treat aggression with, a reprimand.
No, and more importantly, that is an absolute go.
Of course.
In that one. There's no scenario with Mickey Moniak running, Juan Soto moving to his right. You go 100% of the time. We've already seen him make an errant throw on that.
And you described it beautifully. I mean, he made a perfect throw.
Yep.
And it needed to be.
Yep.
It was bang, bang. Moniak's driven in both Rockies runs. We're tied at 2. The hits are even at 7. Terrific ball game. Bottom of the 7th inning. Freeman toward Mauricio. And that's all for the Rockies in the 7th. But Hilliard comes off the bench, hits a triple. And then Mickey Moniak comes through with a clutch single. 2-2 going to the 8th at Coors Field.
piece of highlight reel history. Come watch Brenton Doyle patrol center field as the Rockies take on the New York Mets tomorrow, Saturday, June 7th, and the first 15,000 fans will take home a Brenton Doyle bobblehead, courtesy of King Soopers. Visit Rockies.com/tickets to purchase now.
2-2, top of 8. Mickey Moniak now out of the ball game. He hit a homer earlier and had that single a moment ago to drive in Sam Hilliard. Hilliard takes over in right. Hilliard pinch hit for Hira, so Kyle Farmer's now in at first, and on the mound is Victor Vodnik. Vodnik making his 5th appearance since coming off the injured list. He missed more than a month. Victor has been perfect since coming off the injured list. In fact, going back prior to when he went on the IL, 7 straight scoreless outings for the hard-throwing right-hander from east of Los Angeles.
I have a tough time not calling him a supervillain with the double V's. It just seems to make sense to me.
There's a lot of things that make sense to you that make very little sense to me, which is fine.
Well, you know, the Fantastic Four, Victor Von Doom. So it just.
Which movie was that?
The Fantastic Four.
Oh.
It's been made 3 or 4 times, and they're coming out with a new.
You know, there was a movie I watched the other night, and I wanted to call you. I forgot. No, it was too late. This ball's in the air to center, fairly well hit. Doyle looks like he has room. He does. Long out off the bat of Brett Beatty. 1 gone.
Well, Doyle just does it flawlessly. He turned his back to the baseball, ran to a spot, made a great catch.
Well, I know why I couldn't call you. I was on the plane.
That'd be a tough time.
And you left New York, so
yes.
You weren't with us in Miami. The first pitch is in there for a strike on Alvarez. Oh, 2 on Alvarez. It was a Clint Eastwood, Steven Spielberg film, 2006, documenting the battle for Iwo Jima. Swung on and missed. Vodnik strikes out Alvarez. Too quickly gone in the Mets half of the 8th.
Oh, this was just step on the gas and don't take your foot off. Strike 1, strike 2, elevate a little bit more, get the swing and miss, strike 3. And I think we'll see exactly how I mean, the ball was by him before we even saw the flash in the barrel there.
You know, there's tardy,
yeah,
and then there's go to the principal's office. You're that tardy, right?
Yeah, well, no, I would say there's fashionably late, and then there's tardy.
Right.
That was tardy.
Ronnie Mauricio 0 for 3. He's got called back to the big leagues. Does not have a hit yet. And Victor trying to keep it that way. Two and 1.
I don't know if you saw this, Drew, but Brandon Nimmo and Pete Alonso now swing a full-blown sledgehammer.
Yeah,
it's
not like the 16-pound, it's the 8-pound sledgehammer.
Yeah. It's one way to get loose.
Three and 1. So I can't believe that I had to look this up. I saw the movie 3 days ago, and I couldn't remember it. 2 days ago, actually, not 3, 2. Dougie, what is it again? Flags of our fathers. This ball in the air, left center field, long run for Doyle. It's off the middle of the wall. Doyle grabs with his bare hand, and Mauricio with his first hit in 2025, a 2-out double. Fortunately, he hit that to the biggest part of the ballpark.
Because he did the opposite of Sam Hilliard. He was standing on first base watching this when it actually hit the wall. And Brent did a phenomenal job fielding it. One hop, barehanded, you'll see right here. He went to go to third base, thinking he might have a play there, not realizing that Mauricio was still coming to second, and then throws it into second base.
Brandon Nimmo steps up. Go ahead run at second. 2 outs. Nimmo's 0 for 4. The Mets are 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, which for a team 15 games over 500, I wonder where they'd be if they were even mediocre in that category this year. They're 27th in baseball. Vodnik trying to make them 1 for 12. Three and 1. Crowd at just under 35,000 tonight. And they've been treated to a really good ball game. The anti-Coors Field game, right?
Yep.
2-2. That's in there. 3 and 2. Quick reported over.